this video, I'm going to talk about the idea of range battles within grappling, and that you're going to have to recede at times. You're going to have to make tactical retreats rather than holding on to something dearly and then losing control and then losing everything. The example for this would be, say, back control. I got back control on Kevin on the weak side. He manages to win head position by getting his head to the other side. He starts managing to get his shoulder blades to the mat, and then I keep holding on here. Kevin manages to drive himself a little bit further away, gets back on top. And I just went from the best position in fighting, having my opponent's back, to all of a sudden now being bottom closed guard. Now, you have had this happen to you, because we have all had this happen to us. We hold on to something for too long. Oh man, I hate it because Rob has just burned this into my brain. Kenny Rogers, the gambler, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And in this, I have a dominant position, and there's a lot we can do to just correct this and be able to keep maintaining the back control and being able to bring our opponent back and stuff like that. But sometimes we've just lost the position. He gets his head to the other side. He might even start getting his elbow more across my hip. I have lost back control at this point. Instead of trying to hold on to the back control, I just want to realize that, you know what? I've lost it, but I can move the mount right now.
Know when to fold up.
My goal from here is to bring this leg all the way across, whether it's switching to a long hook while I still had his back, or just at least bring this leg across so I'm not going to end up in half guard. I want to bring this arm and have some control on this side of his body so I'm able to start pulling myself up, but also frame him if he starts to beat me at any point. If it's a gi, I can grab the collar. I usually like to just grab at the crown of the head here. It allows me to break posture and allows me good control. I need to get this elbow out as soon as possible so I can build myself into base. Because right now the problem is that our shoulders are relatively in line with each other from a height perspective. So if we just turn here, and because I don't have very much base, I'm not very mobile. And so if Kevin and I start just frantically turning into each other right now, like if I don't get on the elbow, he can actually rotate a little bit easier than I can. However, if we're in the same position and I got my elbow here, get on top, Kevin. I almost don't even have to move because I'm already on top. So if I'm losing this position, I get that arm out as soon as possible, so I'm just up on my elbow here. Even here, I still kind of had like the body triangle slash, it's in between his legs here. It's gonna be extremely difficult for him to get on top. I just wanna make sure, the best to my ability, that I don't get caught into a half guard. And now from here, with my ability to pull at his head and me to curl my leg into his hip or leg here, I'm able to now start withdrawing my left leg, my leg that's underneath him, and move straight into hooks, so I have this control, and then I just start doing whatever I do from mount. So one more time. Here, he starts to win his head position and drive. I pull my arm out. So here I chose to pull it out much earlier, where I actually just brought my elbow from here behind me like this, so I'll post up this way. Here, as Kevin starts to drive, I'm up, controlling the head. The legs can switch after. Like if there's a race for something I have to do first in order of operations, getting to my elbow is the most important thing. Because even here I have a butterfly hook. If he did somehow even start to drive into me here, my ability to still just knock him back over is extremely simple from here. There's a race to base in this scramble. Whoever gets the best base becomes the most mobile, the most powerful, and they're gonna win. But this scramble doesn't exist because I'm already posted up on my elbow. So you just want to think about this in any kind of context within jiu-jitsu. If you have a good position and you're losing it for some reason, you could be greedy and try and hold on to that and lose everything, or you just make a minor adjustment and understand that while, yes, mount isn't as dominant as back control, it's still a very dominant position, and you'll be able to get back to back control. You're not going to lose everything. Same say if I was in full mount and Kevin manages to really frame up my hips and he's starting to scoot his butt away from here and I'm starting to lose this control and he keeps hipping away. Ah man, just because I refuse to move and I want to hold on to that, I started losing the legs. But as I'm here and he starts to move and do the same thing, I just windshield wiper my legs and I go to side control, knee on belly. Now from here, I can look to start crushing him, just like I talked about in the previous video, move myself back to mount. And I can do so and keep control. So we want to always minimize risks and realize that we are going to be losing little battles once in a while, and we shouldn't be just trying to hold on or trying to move forward at that point. This can be as grand as losing back control and having to move back to mount, where it's really easy to visualize and see, to just even super small movements like in hand fighting, where you can lose a hand fighting range. So try and just think of this idea and apply it to grappling, and you're going to have so much more success.